This is export sales for Thursday, September 18th. Not really anything too wild or crazy this week, but overall solid numbers. So let's hop into it here, starting out with corn. Corn stepped back up this week. Pretty disappointing sales last week and came in now with 48.5 million bushels. Not blowing anybody away with those numbers, but that's still in line with what we're expecting to see and overall solid. Current corn sales on the books are the second most ever at this time. So corn's really off to a strong spot, sitting at 938 million bushels on the books already. Um, on the flip, though, we're going to need it. Export expectations are now set for an all-time record as well, around 2.97 billion bushels. So, going to need continued strength here on the export side. Doing the math going forward, sales going to need to average around 38.7 million bushels per week. Largest sales this week were to South Korea, Japan, and unknown had quite a bit on the books as well. So have to wait and see where those bushels end up going. Switching over to the soy complex here, fairly solid numbers this week as well. Beans had sales 33.9 million bushels. That was a pretty good comeback compared to last week as well. Current expectations are saying beans need to average 25.7 per week to meet those numbers. The one big balance sheet changer we all know could be China. I think everybody's tired of talking about them, so not going to spend a whole lot of time there. But for right now, export numbers are fairly realistic and doable. Largest sales this week were to Mexico, Egypt, and Spain. Pretty normal buyers there. Switching away from actual bean side of things, bean oil was kind of the one big helper and surprise this week. Old crop sales, 22,000 tons. Biggest week we've seen for bean oil sales in quite a while. And another big week like this would actually mean bean oil could meet their expectations, which for the last few weeks, I think everybody's had the thought of that wasn't going to happen. So bean oil doing some good things, and that could really help out and keep the balance sheet moving over into new crop looking a little bit better. So finishing out on the soy complex with meal, minor new crop sales, 151.3 thousand tons. New crop meal's kind of been a little disappointing. We're at the lowest amount of sales we've seen there in about 3 years. Still a long way from a disaster, but new crop bean meal sales, we'd like to see that step up a little bit. So switching away, finishing out here with wheat. Wheat's more on the side of corn. Sales were towards the bottom of expectations this week at 13.9 million bushels. But looking at it overall, best numbers we've seen at this time for wheat in 5 years. Looking forward, wheat's going to need to average about 10 million bushels per week to meet USDA expectations. So really doable. Wheat's had a really strong start to the marketing year, and as long as numbers continue to be solid there, I don't see any reason for that to change. So overall, this week, exports, corn and wheat still doing what needs to be done. Beans okay, just the meal needs to step up a little bit. So be important to watch that over the next few weeks as the old crop marketing year for oil and meal is close to wrapping up here. So that is it for export sales here today on Thursday, September 18th.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.